Welcome to IT by Design's Culture and Career Corner with CEO Sunny Kaila. Today's guest is China Francisco, a Senior Recruitment Specialist at ITBD. Today, they chat about culture, lessons learned, being intentional, the definition of success, and so much more. Over to you, Sunny.
China, welcome to my show.
Thank you, Sunny. Thanks for having me. I'm surprised I'm here.
So first of all, I truly appreciate you as my team member, and you are in our core team, our founding members of IT by Design Philippines, and you are contributing a lot there to help us build a new site of IT by Design Global, which is IT by Design Philippines. And last week, after my visit, I have a lot more confidence by experiencing what I have experienced there, what I have seen, and team members that are involved in building that structure for us. I have a lot more confidence to invest more in Philippines, and that's because of team members like you. So thank you. I want to start with a big thank you there.
Thank you as well, Sunny. You know, I've always said that being given something and appreciating us for doing that is something else, but it's a next level if that person starts to really trust us. So it's not only, giving the task, but trusting. It's, next level. So thank you really from us.
Yeah, so I want to start with learning about you, about China. And so can you please share your career journey, your overall life journey, I should say, life journey so far?
Yeah, sure, Sunny. So I was born and raised here in Manila, Philippines. I've always been a city girl. And then growing up, I'm in a family that is, I wouldn't say strict or conservative, but very protective. So I lived with my parents and three brothers. And then I studied in a co-ed Catholic school my whole life. Well, not my whole life, Catholic school my whole life, yes, but co-ed for my primary and secondary education. And then in an all-girls college after that. After graduating, I started my career as a licensed preschool teacher. I taught for 2.5 years. And then from there, I started my corporate journey. So I started working in the global law firm. My first role in the corporate world has always been with HR, with recruitment. And 8.5 years later, I'm here in this amazing company. And as they say, the rest is history.
So now, I mean, you have been with us now from almost very beginning of IT by Design. We started our kind of official operation in the beginning of this year. And so how would you describe IT by Design culture? What is that feeling? What is that experience so far?
All right. So for me, the feeling, the experience of IT by Design, the core value is really what our culture is. It's well defined by our culture, which is happy. And I feel like, and I see that people here are really happy. Not only their emotions being here with the company, but also, how they are as people. Our happy core value, HAPPY, they are, people here are humble, they are accountable, they are passionate, positive, and they really have that sense of community. And, I've actually seen several posts online that's trending now. I'm not sure if you've seen them, but there are posts that says, run if a company says we treat the employees as family. But I really think it's because the quote unquote family that most people know about that is in the workplace, it's so much different from what family really means here in ITBD. You will really not experience the family that is in the workplace until you enter the company. And people here are very genuine with their intention. And I think that's what really family is all about.
Thank you for that, Gina. And one thing that you mentioned in person, and I think my question was, what made you kind of apply for IT by Design? And you mentioned, Sunny, I have seen the happy core values. So talk to me a little bit about that, like, why it was important for you to kind of, what attracted you towards ITBD, and if that is happy, why so?
Okay. So to tell you honestly, Sunny, I didn't know happy was her core value. Okay. So I really think my journey here in the company is by design, as you know, as how we say it, because I really didn't know that the core value was happy. But during the pandemic years or late 2021, I really decided for myself that I would be happy. And then it just really happened. I wouldn't talk about that in detail, but I really decided that for next year in 2022, I want to prioritize myself. I want to be happy. And then everything came into place. Eventually, I got a call that I'm already for offer. And then I started here in the company and then learned that happy was the core value. And I got chills knowing that. So it's like I manifested being here in the company. Or, if you're really intentional, if you really want to plan something for yourself and you are good to people, I think the universe will also listen to that and the universe will give that to you.
Yeah, so what I heard you say is that it was your end of 2021, maybe when we start reflecting on the year in November, December, during Christmas days, and we are preparing for the next year. So people call it like New Year resolution. And your resolution was to be happy in 2022, and you happen to find a company with happy core values.
Yeah. So I really think it's by design.
Yeah, you see, when we start kind of sharing something with the universe, start putting those signals out there, there is that power, like that universe is listening. Okay, let's get into more of one reason why we do this is to pay it forward what we are learning, and in our life university we share with the world, right? So that's one reason why we do it, so that next generation can learn from our experience. So what are your learnings so far? Can you share your top life lessons that you have learned so far?
So for my top life lessons, okay, so first, as I mentioned, you have to really start within. Like what I did in 2021, I knew that that's what I wanted. That was what I wanted, and I manifested it. So you really have to start within. You cannot give what you don't have. And all meaningful and lasting change starts on the inside and it works its way out. You don't even have to go anywhere to find yourself, right? You cannot, I wonder how people can find themselves in a place they haven't even been to. So all you really need is yourself, and it's that easy. And you can do it, when you really need it. Second is to be purposeful. You cannot be just passionate without purpose. In order for you to do and be great, you have to be passionate. But, passion is nothing if you don't believe in anything. And you also not be 100% your best all the time, and that's okay. But don't get stuck. But just always remember what you are passionate about, because our dreams, our passions, our whys, those are what drives us and keep us going. And the third would be just really have integrity. And something that I also realized this year is that integrity is not only something that you work on towards other people. It's not only being honest with your work, honest towards other people. It's not all that. It's also being honest within yourself. And that's the only way where you will learn and continue growing, because if you're honest with yourself, you know what you need to work on. And you are only able to make a solution if you know the problem. And those are the life lessons that I
Yeah,
have.
that's so awesome. So start within, purposeful life, and then integrity. Those are great lessons that I think you can live a really meaningful life if you kind of practice these things. So my follow-up question there, China, is that let's talk about one by one. So something that you do to practice. So for example, start within, right? So it's a great life lesson. But how can what can people do kind of as an activity, some action that they can take, or some kind of routine that you follow, which makes you more intentional to practice more when it comes to start from within? So anything actionable that you can share, any routine, morning routine, evening routine that you're following, which helps you start within.
Okay. So just really give time for yourself, just time alone with yourself. As I mentioned, you don't need a place or another person or anything else to be happy. You don't have to think of, again, another place, because if you try to think of other people or other place for you before you be happy, then you'll never be happy. You'll have to be grateful for where you are currently at, and just be grateful, just think, and just have time for yourself. You meditate, just think of the things that that works well for you, and you really have to know yourself first. You have to have a target, and at the end of the day, also reflect if what happened during the day. Is it something that you wanted to happen? If not, how can you make the next day even better? Like in a normal, for example, setup in a regular work day, right? We have our to-do list for the day. My starting point, my starting to-do list is the list that I wrote the night before. There are things that were not finished during the day. I write it down before I log out, and that's where I will, continue on the next day. So you really just have to give time for yourself and think.
And how can people adopt the second learning that you shared in terms of living with purpose?
Okay. So just look for your why. Why are you waking up every day? Why are you doing the things that you do? So for you to be able to have, so you have to have that dream or something that will push you. You don't have to always be, in your great shape, because if you have the dreams that you have, then you will just continue. And even if you, for example, you didn't have a nice day, you know that you will continue because you have that dream to achieve.
Yeah, that's great. So even when you're having a bad day, then there is a next day.
Yes.
So during our trip, especially, I want to share something which aligns with the learning that you're sharing. Is we were in Cebu, and so at Shangri-La, and me and Steve, we got up early in the morning because we wanted to see sunrise. And that day, when we're kind of waiting for sun, and we started kind of reflecting over all the, like what can we learn from sunrise? And one of the lessons that we learned there was that, okay, there is always a new day. Sun will come, right? So regardless of what's happening in this world, there will be a new day starting every morning. And it's really believing when there's darkness in life, or it's cloudy, just remember that those clouds are going to go away, that night is going to go away, because sun will be there next day. So so it aligns with the kind of thinking about your thinking when you're not having a good day. Now,
yes, and even the sunsets are beautiful, right? Even the darkest nights are still beautiful.
Yeah. So your ability to see stars during dark night, so darkness, silver linings, right? Okay, integrity is the third piece. So talk to me a little bit about, be honest with yourself and integrity, and what people can do there to, again, start moving towards integrity.
Sunny, this integrity part, I learned this while I'm here. Because there are so many people here who are so good. I thought I already know a lot of things, but being with my teammates, they really inspire me and they amaze me. So that's where the integrity, this thought of integrity came into me, that integrity is not something that's always outward, but it's something that you have for yourself. When I realized that there are more people who are better than you, that part humbles you, right? And it gives you that sense of, okay, I need to work on these things. So that's where, that really came in. So from there, I thought and I saw from other people, I sort of compared, but in a healthy way, right? I compared because I wanted to grow and I wanted to continue learning. And I wanted to learn what my teammates do and what my teammates know and what even other people from other departments do, how they are as people, how they are as a person, not even as an engineer. I mean, I wouldn't say I want to be an engineer because I cannot, right? But looking at them as people, how they are, how they present themselves, that also inspired me to really have this thought of integrity, not only being outward, but also inward.
Yeah. So one thing that just occurred to me, Gina, is that, so first of all, thank you for sharing those mindsets that you just shared. Like, you're a very successful professional and you're very result focused, at least, produce results and proven value there when it comes to results. What are you doing differently that others can learn from you to produce a result? So this is more like a bonus question. Is there anything that you are doing with your day-to-day routine when you're working? So what are you doing that is making you successful in terms of your role and results?
So I wanted to reserve this for next week, Sunny, but I've shared this with one teammate, and that made me realize that it's really who I am. That teammate said, it's because that's who you are. So even if you're not, there's nothing that really pushes you to do things, you have to do things. You just really have to give results. And again, start from within. You don't need other people to do great things. You just really have to do great things. You have to be that person. And, being here, I thought that I already did so many things, but after receiving the treatment that I've been receiving from you and from my leaders, I'm at the point where, okay, I cannot let them down. So from doing so many things and then that mindset, now I'm thinking, what else can I do for the company? Even after doing already so many things for the organization.
Yeah, Gina, thank you so much. You have such a young age and very mature mind for your age. And at this age, kind of thinking at a very mature level is amazing to see. And we really appreciate you being part of IT by Design community, our team. We're lucky to have you, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Sunny.